Long ago, from a dark place called Black Abyss, ferocious creatures swarmed into the mortal world, plunging everything into inescapable chaos. When humanity was on the brink of despair, Ming Bai appeared like a door opening to the only chance of survival. Thanks to Ming Bai, commoners like me gained the ability to resist the alien beasts, though it meant gambling with our lives. After generations of relentless fighting, humanity finally forced the monsters back to where they came from. People decided to build 9 major centers in areas with Ming Bai, holding an annual job transfer ceremony to find those capable of defending the front lines. Even so, alien beasts still lurk somewhere, and hope rests on the younger generation like us. Early in the morning, I and other high school students lined up orderly before the headquarters gate. Today was the 53rd job transfer ceremony in Forest Heaven City. The teacher stood on a high platform, his voice resounding across the courtyard, announcing job assignments based on individual abilities. He emphasized that whether vanguard or ordinary citizen, everyone has a duty to the nation. The fate of Flower Nation lies in our generation's hands. Below, the atmosphere boiled. A fat kid shouted confidently, while a guy in a brown shirt near me whispered about becoming a warrior for a life of luxury. I heard the fat kid scoff, saying the chance of getting a combat job was only 50%. Not as easy as imagined. He pointed at me, saying I was dozing off. Others whispered behind my back that I was the class loser, probably fit for a cook's job at best. And some sneered I'd suit the most mocked job, beast tamer. I heard all the gossip clearly. My eyes grew slightly cold, but my heart remained unmoved. My name is Lin Tianhao, the class's bottom student at Second First High, looking at the vast sky. I thought quietly, the day has finally come. What will become of me? Just then, the fat kid asked what I aimed for. I replied without hesitation, S-grade talent or a rare job. The group burst into laughter, saying I was daydreaming. Even a janitor job was out of reach, let alone S-grade or hidden jobs. The brown-shirted guy added my potential was only C-grade. I clearly recalled my evaluation: pathetic strength, unremarkable willpower, weak stamina, dazed spirit, sluggish reflexes. The system rated me C-grade, a true failure. It stung, but I told myself, no one knows if a village chicken could become the stage's king tomorrow. I took a deep breath, head held high with resolve. If transmigration is possible, why can't I rewrite my fate? On stage, the teacher called the first name, Wang Dong. I saw Wang Dong step out to the courtyard's center. He once openly despised me. As he passed, he shot a provocative glance, as if saying, I'm 100 times better than you. He placed his hand on a glowing stone. The overseer above gently reminded that feeling strange was normal. As he touched it, a brilliant light erupted, accompanied by thunder echoing across the courtyard. Wang Dong flinched slightly. The overseer promptly declared, job transfer complete. The stone's light grew blinding, forcing the MC to shout the result. He was confirmed as a warrior. Wang Dong's excitement was evident, his spiritual energy blazing brightly. But his smile faded when the system displayed C-grade talent. The overseer handed him a certificate, offered some consoling words to ease the bitterness, and directed him to the guild for further training. He mumbled thanks, face stiff. Below, pretty schoolgirls cheered loudly. Others buzzed with chatter. Being a warrior guaranteed a future without hunger. Despite low talent, Wang Dong acted victorious, passing me. He deliberately bumped my shoulder, as if saying, I'm above you now. He looked back, mocking me as the class's trash. I stayed silent, thinking, now a warrior, he'll surely cause trouble later. His friends didn't let up. A purple-shirted guy picked a fight, demanding an apology, while a black-clad one grumbled I always looked grumpy. Wang Dong played the gentleman, saying to let it go and dragged them to celebrate. I stood there, exasperated. I didn't care about their taunts but about what my own job would be. They seemed just as curious. The purple-shirted guy sneered. The brown-haired one teased my dreams compared to Wang Dong, and the black-clad one smirked, saying sticking with Brother Dong ensured a cushy life. At that moment, the overseer called my name for the job transfer ritual. I raised my hand, responding, yes, I'm here. Laughter filled with mockery echoed below. I stepped onto the stage, standing before the stone, hoping to become a warrior, mage, or at least something useful. I placed my hand on the stone's surface, muttering a small wish. Inside, my heart pounded, tension stretching every second. Upon touching, a fierce light exploded, accompanied by roaring thunder. I struggled to stay calm, feeling time freeze. The blinding light dazed me, yet a strong spark of hope ignited. Could my fate truly be changing? The scene drew the judge's and overseer's attention. The overseer stammered, eyes wide with disbelief, as if witnessing the impossible. I slowly withdrew my hand, the light faded, leaving an oddly quiet void. As the mist cleared, the teacher looked at me with unreadable eyes, softly advising me to brace myself for my official job reveal. My heart raced. A system voice in my head announced, "Summoner?" The stands erupted in laughter. People whispered the job was weak, resource draining, and useless in battle. As I stood confused, the system suddenly announced I was chosen as Abyss Lord, with the right to unlock a 3S grade talent skill. My eyes widened as the system panel appeared clearly before me. I thought in shock. Unlocking a 3S grade talent so easily? Things grew unbelievable when the system added, every 10 levels, I'd gain another 3S talent. Reaching level 100 would mean 10 3S skills. I stood rooted, maintaining a calm facade. The overseer handed me my job card as if nothing extraordinary happened. The system didn't stop, announcing it was rolling for a 3S skill, then displayed, "Congratulations. Acquired Demon Sacrifice." I was truly bewildered but thrilled. Only I knew the secret. The system explained, "Demon Sacrifice allows me to sacrifice my life force to boost summoned creatures, demonizing them with hellish power." I shivered, muttering, "Permanently lose life force?" But I quickly calculated, I don't need to fight directly, summoning strong creatures is enough. And I'll stack life-boosting gear later. The system added, every 100 life points sacrificed boosts a summoned creature by 1 level. I checked my stats, my total life was 1000, keeping 100 for myself. I could use 900 to raise a summoned creature 9 levels from the start. Ignoring the crowd's stares, I vowed to plan carefully. The overseer, seeing my somber look, gently comforted me. I feigned sadness, thanked her, and softly said, "I'll create my own world." She patted my shoulder, nodding in support. Below, a girl laughed mockingly, saying a summoner should quit early. Laughter rang again, filling a corner of the courtyard. I quietly stepped down, none knowing I hid an earth-shattering secret. I thought to myself, to others, summoner is useless, but for me, it's the key to reaching the pinnacle of glory. Hours later, I trudged home. My gorgeous girlfriend, wrapped in a towel, rushed out joyfully, asking my job. I replied simply, "Summoner." Her face fell, her radiant smile vanished, like she'd been doused with ice water post-bath. I gently adjusted her slipping towel, nodding to confirm it was true. I wiped her hair with the towel. Warmed by her care despite my lackluster job, she promised to become a mage to protect me. Her words made me blush. I stole a glance, then looked away, too shy. Suddenly, I draped the towel over her face, declaring boldly, "I'm a super summoner, just keep yourself safe." She got mad, laughing and scolding me playfully. I chuckled, eyes on my phone, saying, "Play by yourself." She pouted, accusing me of treating her like a kid. Just then, an urgent message popped up on my phone. I read it, unclear what was happening. Staring at the screen, I muttered, "Whatever, let's check it out." The scene shifted to the classroom. The teacher announced job results: 5 warriors, 8 mages, 11 supports, and 1 summoner, me. The bullies seized the chance to mock. Wang Dong pointed at me, shouting I finally got the trash job matching my level. They spoke loudly for the class to hear. The teacher called me, handing over a dusty book for novice summoners. I went up, bowed politely, and thanked him. He kindly advised seeking help if I faced obstacles. Holding the dusty book, I flipped through, thinking, such an old cover. No wonder summoner is a forgotten job. The teacher explained today's gathering was to collect data on newly assigned jobs. All transferred students must undergo testing. The scene shifted to the school courtyard. Students crowded a corner. A long-haired teacher stood arms crossed before a strength testing machine, sternly ordering the test to begin. A boy stepped up, raising his staff excitedly. He unleashed skills, lights flashing brilliantly. The teacher nodded, praising his decent talent. The scoreboard showed 73 points. A sword slammed into the ground, signaling the next tester. It was Wang Dong. Always belittling me, he swung his sword hard at the machine. A dazzling light flared. The scoreboard displayed 89. The teacher reviewed the result, nodding that he had potential to lead the class. Amid admiring chatter, Wang Dong slung his sword over his shoulder confidently. Then the teacher shouted, "Lin Tianhao." Hearing my name, I stepped out with the guidebook and an old staff. Thinking simply, the book lists basic skills. Let's try one. I opened the book on the spot. Though the text was hard to read, I recited fluently, as if the words were etched in my mind from a past life. As I spoke, a whirlwind swirled around me, energy gathering stronger by the moment. The gust scattered skirts of girls below, shocking everyone. The teacher who gave me the book shouted in disbelief. Stunned, I could summon something. The whirlwind roared, then faded, revealing a tiny, round, white creature, my summon. Seeing it, I sighed, feeling this would make me a laughingstock again. As expected, laughter erupted from the stands. Someone shouted the tiny slime was only good for cleaning floors. It clung to my leg. I asked absently, "Is this my summon?" It looked up, chirping naively. "Biu biu." The system displayed. Level 1 Basic Slime, 500 HP. 9 Attack. 2 Skills, Strong Corrosive Slime and Slime Spray. No equipment. Though I summoned it, I groaned in frustration. 9 Attack. Like tickling, it heard. Eyes drooping, whimpering biu biu. The teacher raised a hand for silence to check the test result. The digital board showed exactly 9 points. The courtyard fell silent briefly, then buzzed with chatter. The teacher scratched his chin, muttering, "Only 9 points." Laughter exploded again. The teacher patted my shoulder, consoling half-heartedly. 9 points are still points. The little slime clung to my leg, trying to cheer me, unwilling to be mocked. I looked up, asking to retest. The teacher hesitated, then nodded. I opened the system, thinking of demon sacrifice, if not now. When, seeing the slime's cheerful grin, I felt guilty but decided. The system asked, "Sacrifice life force?" I selected yes, entering 200. Below, students grumbled, saying no retest would change my result. I ignored them, focusing intensely. The system updated. Life dropped from 1000 to 800. The slime emitted a strange energy, lightning crackling around it. It looked around, confused, its body morphed. Black liquid seeping, peeling its skin in patches. Thick black mist formed crimson tentacles writhing from the boiling slime. The air fell dead silent. All eyes locked on the horrifyingly transforming creature. What was once cute now radiated a chilling aura, its tentacles wriggling with murderous intent. I stood frozen, whispering, "Is this the demonized slime?" The system updated. Demonized slime. Level 3, 1000 HP, 120 attack. New skill unlocked. Demon Dance. It no longer looked remotely gentle. I pointed forward, commanding firmly, "Attack." The slime tensed, then shot forward with terrifying force. It gnashed its teeth, moving so fast no one could react. I watched closely as the slime slammed into the testing board with force that shook the courtyard. The digital board flickered wildly, the device affected by the demonic energy. Thousands of students held their breath. The air was eerily quiet. All eyes on the impending score. When the number appeared, the teacher lost composure, shouting, "What the hell is happening?" I stared at the screen, heart stopping at the number. Exactly 120, undeniably correct. The crowd erupted, shouting, "What, 120 points? He surpassed Wang Dong?" Wang Dong's face paled, throat tight with rage, clearly unable to accept being outdone. He roared, accusing me of cheating for getting a retest. His friends joined in. "Something's fishy." 9 points to 120 out of nowhere. I smirked inwardly. Cheating? Sure, with a 3S grade talent skill. The teacher stroked his chin, face torn between conflicting opinions. Wang Dong shot me a smug glance. I quickly said, "Teacher, I didn't cheat." The teacher didn't respond, stepping to the machine, eyes fixed on the screen. The device kept flickering, signals unstable. His face showed tension, eyes glued to the screen. After close inspection, he turned and declared loudly, "The machine malfunctioned, no cheating occurred." Wang Dong sighed in relief, muttering, "Knew it, that guy couldn't beat me." He loudly questioned, "So, the score? Only the initial 9 counts. Right? His followers echoed him. The head teacher announced the result was voided. And I'd retest later. I was surprised. Thinking, maybe another chance to shock them. Still, students kept jeering, demanding fair treatment without favoritism. The teacher stood firm, declaring the test over. Those untested would wait for the next round. The black-clad guy clenched his fists, trembling with anger. Wang Dong shot him a look, silencing him instantly. As I sat, Wang Dong approached, voice full of hate. You're just a wild chicken. Don't dream of becoming a phoenix. I smirked. Had your fun? He turned away, ordering his group to Black Abyss Level 1. Ignore that loser. I watched, thinking. Black Abyss Level 1, a newbie dungeon? Perfect to test the demonized slime. I quietly observed the 4 of them leave the area. Soon, technicians arrived to check the device, seeing the damaged board. They were stunned. One frowned, noting the cracks, exclaiming, only a true genius could cause this damage. The test officially ended. I left the courtyard, mind swirling with unresolved thoughts. Suddenly, a white-haired old man stepped from a corner, eyeing me keenly, praising my potential as a summoner. I jumped at the familiar words, turning to ask, you talking to me? He calmly offered a fancy staff, pricing it at 300 gold coins. I eyed the staff, looking like firewood, and yelped at the sky-high price. He coolly said he'd only sell to me, no matter who offered more. Curious, I held it. It glowed brightly, emitting an indescribable power. I sighed, knowing it was rare, reluctantly agreeing to buy. He held up 3 fingers, insisting on 300 gold. No discounts. I rummaged my bag, counting only 92 gold. Embarrassed by my poverty, I pleaded for a discount, whining as a fresh graduate. Without a word, he took my money, calling it a deposit, leaving me stunned. He sternly said, want the staff? Go to Black Abyss Level 1. Retrieve a treasure. I stood frozen, thinking, side quest from a game? Before I could react, he shoved a huge IOU into my hand. I panicked, feeling utterly scammed. With no way out, I reluctantly signed the agreement. He laughed heartily, telling me to complete the task properly. I left, mind a mess, overhearing someone ask who the old man was. My teacher replied the testing machine had issues, and the test stopped 2 days ago. The old man asked about me. The teacher said I was his student. Now a summoner, likely facing a tough path. Elder Fang looked into the distance, muttering my chosen path would be full of thorns. The scene shifted to the entrance of Black Abyss Level 1. I stood awestruck before Cold Valley Abyss's gate, marveling at its grandeur. Checking the system, I was shocked. Teams need 3 to 5 people. Soloing Level 1 means system punishment. I browsed the leaderboard for more info, seeing top ranker Fang Chonyun's speed. I thought, taking first would surely yield huge rewards. The prize was dazzling golden armor, boosting defense, magic, and health. A dream item early on. I gawked, thinking, this gear's op. Everyone wants it. As I got excited, a familiar voice mocked my 9-point score, taunting if I dared enter. I turned, sighing at the sight of my usual bullies showing up. Wang Dong didn't miss a chance to sneer, saying a summoner like me dared show up here. Unlike before, I didn't hold back, retorting, worry about your own survival first. His group, all level 1 with mediocre stats, bragged, thinking I'd be eliminated for lacking a team. He called for team-ups, confident with a C-grade warrior ally. His words stirred the crowd. Everyone clamored to join. The atmosphere buzzed. People pushed forward, flaunting skills and jobs to be picked. Wang Dong smirked, selecting a few seemingly useful ones. The crowd praised him, his lackeys flattered, claiming he'd top the ranks. New teammates weren't shy, eagerly promising not to drag the team down. Suddenly, white bones rolled out from the secret realm's gate. Seeing fleshless skeletons, chills ran down my spine. Wang Dong's group paled, faces drained of color in fear. Zhang Wenfei stepped up as leader, sternly warning newbies to stick close or become the next skeletons. The group charged into the realm, Wang Dong leading with a spirited slogan. I stayed outside, choosing to observe first. I thought, trusting them invites trouble, especially the 2 newbies, likely in danger. Thinking of rewards and revival costs, I muttered, surviving is victory, reviving isn't cheap. I steeled myself, announcing, Level 1 Summoner. S-grade talent. Some were shocked, but most eyed me skeptically, thinking even high-talent summoners struggled to find teams. My rare talent didn't win favor. People avoided me like I carried trouble. I kept searching for someone reliable to team with. My gaze locked on a braided girl hugging a huge lute. System showing. Li Shui. Level E Bard. Seeing her bulky bag, I guessed she'd camped here for days. I approached, asking if she'd team with me. She blushed, startled, stammering. You, really asking me? I smiled, extending a hand. I'm aiming for top, no one else will join. You in? Surprised and flustered, partly charmed by my looks. She nodded. We shook hands. The system confirmed team formation. I introduced my name and job. And she followed. I assigned roles. I handle monsters. You just stay safe. She nodded happily, misinterpreting my words as special care. I scanned around, knowing we needed one more for a full team. As I searched, nearby boys clamored to join. Spotting Li Shui. Amid the chaos, a striking girl appeared, causing a frenzy. Tuo Chinger. A grade priestess. Everyone begged her to join. While she sighed at the pestering, the noise made me turn. I recognized the school's goddess. Tuo Chinger. Passing me, she glanced, shocked I chose summoner. She approached, smirking disdainfully at my job, leaving me clueless. Without explanation, she demanded I add her to the team. The crowd gaped. I froze, stunned by her blunt order. She grabbed my hand, pointing at my chest, declaring it final. Nearby guys wailed as the goddess joined me. I stood baffled, unsure what I did to deserve this. She snapped at the crowd to shut up, saying she was in and that was that. Turning to me and Li Shui, she jerked her chin toward the realm's gate, signaling readiness. Catching us off guard, I held her back, pressing for her real reason to join me. She calmly said, leading 2 burdens to first place would silence her doubters. Her words hit me and Li Shui hard. Were we just props for her glory? With enough members, she urged the team to move out. Annoyed but compliant, I agreed to work with the princess. Li Shui whispered, no more members? I eyed the gate, sighing. No better options. You can back out if it feels off. The scene shifted inside the abyss. Snow blanketed everything, footprints marking the icy ground. The group ventured deeper. Tuo Chinger led. Complaining about the cold, Li Shui shivered, fumbling with her thin coat. Seeing frozen grass, I grumbled. This cold gear's useless in this harsh weather. Li Shui recalled her warm light skill. Low level but better than nothing. She played a short tune. A warm aura enveloped us. Tuo Chinger rarely praised, admitting Li Shui wasn't useless. Feeling relief, I sternly urged everyone to hurry to compete for rankings. After a stretch, I stopped, spotting 2 red glints in the snow ahead, looking ominous. Unease rising, I went on high alert. As expected, a grotesque rotting wolf emerged from the dark. The system showed its details. The beast eyed us like prey. Tuo Chinger glanced. Deeming it low level, she switched to combat mode. Spiritual energy flaring, ready to strike. She shifted stance, body agile like a beast ready to pounce. I couldn't hide my shock, thinking, a priestess with semi-beast skills? Before I could process, she vanished from her spot like evaporating in the snow. In a flash, she lunged, claws gleaming, slashing the wolf's face as if to rip its snout. Despite its fierce counter, she finished it in moments. Blood gushing, landing lightly. Her eyes still dominant. Li Shui and I gaped. I noticed her claw caused bleeding. Li Shui huddled closer, eyes sparkling with awe. The system showed rewards. Tuo Chinger shoved them to Li Shui, thanking her for the warmth skill. Li Shui blushed, stammering she didn't need such courtesy. We trudged on. Tuo Chinger led, urging us to hurry. I hadn't shown my skills yet, then. 3 more rotting wolves blocked us, eyeing us like lunch. Before they closed in, Tuo Chinger unleashed spiritual energy, charging with cold, lethal intent. She struck relentlessly, claws shredding each wolf, black blood staining the snow. But mid-fight, Li Shui and I noticed her injured hand. She stayed calm, stubbornly pushing for rankings. Li Shui tried a basic heal, but Tuo Chinger curtly refused, saying the scratch wasn't worth mana. She pulled a health potion from her bag, downing it in one gulp. Seconds later, Her wound healed like it never existed, proving she could handle herself. Li Shui and I were speechless. I tapped her shoulder, implying, "Guess we're just decorations." The group pressed on silently through the blizzard. Fierce winds blew, snow blinding us. We stayed tense, scanning around but not below. Suddenly, Tuo Chinger triggered a hidden trap under the snow, a brilliant light flaring up. She stumbled back. Li Shui and I jumped, sensing danger barreling like a runaway truck. A massive object hurtled from afar, too fast for eyes to track. It crashed where Tuo Chinger stood, hurling her far. The impact boomed through the abyss. The attacker was an elite mid-tier rotting wild wolf. Level 4, huge and agile, like an evolved beast. The system showed sky-high stats. Tuo Chinger staggered up, pale, realizing this wasn't child's play. An elite was serious trouble. Li Shui whispered, wondering why this beast appeared. I guessed Tuo Chinger's kills triggered the system to summon a heavy hitter. The elite wolf didn't give time to recover, hurling a tree trunk like a pole at Tuo Chinger. Too fast to dodge. She was instantly outmatched, lacking real combat experience. Before recovering, another hit sent her crashing into deep snow. She lay motionless, pitiful in the snow, too weak to resist. The elite wolf, wielding a massive hammer, stalked toward her like cleaning up scraps. Li Shui, panicked, tugged my sleeve, urging me to save her. The beast raised its hammer, eyes flashing deathly intent, like a doomsday villain. Unable to stand by, I channeled spiritual energy, punched the air, and shouted, "Summon demon slime." White smoke rose from the ground, heralding the grand arrival of my demon slime. It smirked slyly, tentacles swaying, ready to fight. System showed, level 3. 1200 HP, 120 damage. I yelled, "Slime. Use slime spray." The slime shot forward like a bullet, zigzagging toward the wolf. The wolf raised its hammer, its force like it could crush a house. But my slime intervened, blocking the hammer just before it hit Tuo Chinger. The clash sparked a small explosion, snow and dust obscuring everything. As dust settled, the wolf looked confused, unable to find its target, visibly stunned. Li Shui shouted, "Did you see that?" Only shattered stones remained on the ground. The slime had saved Tuo Chinger from doom. Li Shui rushed to help the unconscious girl. While I stood facing the beast, I told Li Shui to take Tuo Chinger away for healing. I'd handle the rest, she nodded. Hurrying off, missing its strike, the wolf roared furiously, face twisting in rage, charging me with blazing eyes. I commanded again, "Slime. Slime spray." The slime leapt, radiating fierce battle aura. It hovered above the wolf, eyes locked, never wavering. From its body, mini slime split off, spraying red slime like a blood rain onto the wolf. Done. It glanced back, smirking as if taunting. "What can you do to me?"